I ain't buying it. Not one bit. Take a look at this guy. He doesn't know what he's doing. Going for it on fourth down. Look, the Chiefs dropped every single pass. Patrick Mahomes, I don't care about Travis Kelce. It didn't matter if Jason Kelce was out there at the tight end spot. Dan Campbell is not long for what you saw last night. Going for it on fourth down, surviving on the road because a team dropped every single pass to him, and now walking away like, oh my God, the Detroit Lions, the Detroit Lions. You go ahead. You're all happy. I can see it in the comments, all giddy. Go ahead, thump that chest out, cash that check, withdraw from your account after that big victory that you had last night. Me, not so much. I'm not going to overreact. Hats off to Jared Goff. First guy ever to beat Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City in week 1. But ultimately, this was a game that was full of mistakes from the Chiefs side where you had Patrick Mahomes himself as the leading rusher. So I am not willing to overreact on either side. Thumbs up, subscribe. We love you here. On our way to 100K, we want you to be a part of it. And you may be number 1, 2, 3, or 10. Thank you for being here so long, assuming that you're still here. Nope. I'm not doing it. I'm not buying it. I'm not jumping into the pool of Dan Campbell and buying and eating this big bowl. My bowl's a little different. All right, we got player props for days on Friday. This is what we're going to do. We're going to hit a player prop parlay. We're going to look at some anytime scores ahead of time, and we'll check the tool on OddsShopper, see if they have anything worthwhile on the way out. So before we even begin, let me remind you what's going on here. Caesars, you put 50 in, you get 250 back. Have to be 21 or older. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Super simple, super easy. I'm going to give you a bet to put 50 on. When that hits, you'll still get your 250 back, okay? So, look, I know the Bankroll Builder did not hit last night. Let's get it right back. This one should be easy for you here on Caesars. We're just bumping up this total in Pittsburgh under 51.5, and we're combining that with Brandon Ayuk getting 4 grabs. Look, Brandon Ayuk had that breakout year. There is definitely something behind he and Brock Purdy, a connection. And as George Kittle and then even Deebo Samuel is going to be out there at target, he's going to get his, and there's not going to be much concern about productivity there. But Brandon Ayuk, the 1,000 yards, I mean, he stepped into his own, and especially with Christian McCaffrey being a vital part of the passing game. A guy like Ayuk is going to find a lot of spots, not just deep, but he'll find a lot of spots and will be targeted enough for us to get the 4 grabs. That's cake. And then, of course, this thing stays under 51. 51, the key number, 41 as well. We've moved it 10.5 points. I feel very comfortable about our Bankroll Builder. You should too. All right. Now, this is what happened last night. Amon-Ra St. Brown came through for us. First touchdown, 10-1, quarter unit a pop. Player units, 1 unit a pop. We bet to win a unit. Parlay, half unit a pop. Anytimes. We went 1 and 2, finished up 2 units because of that glorious from the sun down Amon-Ra St. Brown first touchdown. Beautiful. You know what we're going to do? We're going to hit some more. We're going to open up with our meet and 3, but it's going to be player prop specific. All right. Today, Friday, before each slate is going to focus on some top player props. Now, individually, these make sense. I'm putting them together because we're going to go meet and 3 and then some anytimes. And I mentioned we'll hit up OddsShopper. Look, it's hard for me to ignore right now the value being brought in on anything Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders now heading to Carolina. I saw this in Philadelphia, finished with double digit, if you see, touchdowns. And what I don't understand is how limited he's getting right now in the course of just value on the board. This is a guy who is going to be a goal line back. This is a guy who's going to be a feature back. He is going to get the mass amount of carries. No doubt in my mind. So it's not often, and I'm already jumping the gun. I understand that because this should be something else because we have a whole separate thing for any times. But I can't ignore Miles Sanders as my first play here. Plus 155, anytime touchdown. Throw that sucker in the mix right away. Sanders, again, just look at how much you're going to see him touch the ball, especially on the goal line or in goal line scenarios, red zone. He's going to be a factor down there. He was even for the Eagles. You just had a vulture, and Jalen Hurts take a lot of touchdowns away. Jahan Dotson, sign me up. We know the injury issue with Terry McLaurin, but I don't care about Sam Howell and new quarterback and anything along those lines. Dotson, A, is a stud. We saw that last year. And B is going to be heavily targeted. And here's the thing. You have look, if it's a normal Washington scenario, you stay as far away from this, right? But you've got Eric Bieniemy. Bieniemy's going to figure out a way to get Dotson the football. I have faith in that. That's the impact that a guy like Eric Bieniemy can make on a player prop scenario. Calvin Ridley. Why Calvin Ridley? Because I'm trying to target guys who are the main focus on a mediocre to bad offense. Look at it like we saw last year, the DJ Moore scenario, right? Like on Carolina, oh my God, but you know what? The kid's a talent and he's going to get the football and people are going to throw him the rock. Calvin Ridley has been off because of stupid gambling thing. He comes back in and hasn't lost anything due to health or anything along those lines. He will be a very, very important part of a stagnant to decent offense. And I think that's the best way to put it. And also think that, look, on Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence is going to get him the football. And Doug Peterson is going to be creative in getting him the football. Love that. And that's our 3-leg meat and 3 parlay, right? Plus 727. Woo. Plus 727. All right. We're going to head on over to OddsShopper. I'll show you what's going on there in a minute. Remind you about the tool. You can still get that 70%. But, look, we're shopping odds. We tell you about Caesars because it's there for you. You're going to get the $250 back. But we've got other links. All right. So if you want to click, that BetMGM thing, I haven't seen that BetMGM thing in a little bit. We got you. You can sign up below. It's no problem. No problem at all. Now, I don't want to bury the lead here, but being 1-0 in our first touchdown prop, we're going to keep this thing rolling. And I've already played him in the parlay. Clearly, it's going to be Miles Sanders because he was the only anytime touchdown prop. But look, this is another thing. Road team, home team will defer, kick the football off, come out on defense. Atlanta, I don't know how shaky they're going to be as far as overall this year, but week 1 against that offense, I'm willing to take a shot that Carolina can go down the field. Love the over in that game, at least if Atlanta can score. I think on the ground, they have enough big play guys that they can, so it's not chewing up clock. It's just getting yardage on the ground, chunk plays, if you will. I'm with it, man. I think you're in a really good spot here to target Miles Sanders as the first guy to cross the goal line in Carolina. We love this prop. Just give it to him. And, you're going to need stuff like this, right? In the first week of the season, you're going to need stuff like Raheem Mostert. Yeah, I get it. Now, somebody give Nick Lepre a shout. His ears should be burning that a Miami Dolphin has made it somehow into this show. I have no idea how. I have no idea why. But it's belligerent, if you ask me. And yet here we are. It makes no sense to me, but that's what we are. Look, he's going to get a lot of action. He is the bell cow. He is the Miles Sanders. It's the same exact thing with Miles Sanders as we said before with Mostert now. He is going to be heavily involved in this offense and touch the shit out of it. So you best bet that Mostert is going to be a part of this. Devontae Smith, so it's Belichick. It's a defense that focuses on taking one guy out of the game. I'm betting right now that Belichick's game plan in New England is to not isolate Devontae Smith and take him out and let A.J. Brown and/or Dallas Goedert. I'm willing to bet that it's either the tight end spot to really try and cut the Eagles' offense off at its knees and force them to the outside, or simply A.J. Brown and put a heavy emphasis on that and say, all right, let's see what Devontae Smith can do with Jalen Hurts. Devontae gets in the end zone. Love this play. I think it's a must bet for me. The last one here is Daniel Jones crossing the end zone. The offense mimics what we've seen in Buffalo. And while Saquon contract year and all the stuff that's happened in the offseason, the reality is this offense continues to click when Daniel Jones moves. And as a home dog, they're in a great spot to win this game outright. It's not just going to be sitting back and hurling the football everywhere. Definitely anticipate Daniel Jones getting across there at plus 260. We love that number right now on a Friday. See? Now, I promised you, right? We're going to head on over to the OddsShopper Premium tool. You get 70% off your first purchase, whatever it may be. Here are the top 4 plays for you. Mike Williams, under 4.5 grabs. Keenan Allen, under 6.5 grabs. Jalen Waddle, I know he's probable, but still play that. 5 grabs for Waddle. And then we'll stay under 3.5 grabs for Gerald Everett. All right? Let's recap what we've got here for you. Here's our meet and 3 parlay plus 727. Sanders anytime. Dotson over 42.5. Ridley over 62.5. Last but definitely not least, in fact, first, Miles Sanders crossing the goal line first. Mostert anytime. Devontae Smith anytime. DJ anytime. And yes, best jump in. We're using this. Greg Ehrenberg is smashing home run plays still. We're using this tool in the NFL. We're using it across the board. You should too. I will see you as you can take one more look at the OddsShopper Premium tools on a Saturday as we get juiced up for this official slate.